is there space for a bit?
There's normally space for a bit. There is in general. We normally have a bit of time before we get into the topic.
Let's just talk about Doberman Cop.
Okay, let's just...
Look, if you make another pun like that, you're under arrest. All right.
Dogs, they're coming. They're coming your way. They'll be here soon.
貴様沖縄じゃドーベルマンと言われたそうだの。ドーベルマンっていうのは逃走のために作られた猛犬だって。貴様任官して以来今日まで何人殺したかわからんって言うじゃないか。沖縄ではなそれが正当防衛で通用したかもしれんがな、ここではそういかん。
探し疲れてしらじら夜明けの街角に。
I'm glad there was a pig with a pig. It was nice to...
A pigception, yeah.
There was pigception. He had a deep emotional connection with it. It was like he understood where that pig came from for some reason that we wouldn't know.
Up front, I want to take your temperature on something. A cab, but is Doberman Cop a bastard?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. No, that all A-cab includes Doberman Cop.
A-cab includes Doberman Cop.
We haven't actually done our intro either.
No, we
so
shouldn't.
How's it going, everybody?
Yeah.
I'm Boix. This is my co-host Ilion, and our guest Nick Phil. How's it going, Nick?
It's going pretty well. Excited to be back and brought a film that I thought was going to be a lot better than the
shit that we give you normally. I see how it goes. Yeah, no, I get it.
We made you watch Monster Dog, then we made you watch Teen Wolf, then we made you watch Teen Wolf 2.
And then I was like, no more.
Enough is enough.
Yeah.
Never again.
Never fucking again.
Anyways, welcome to Rough Cuts, which is a podcast about good boys and bad movies. That's right. We do bad dog movies. Like you said, you brought us Doberman Cop, which you and Boix talked about this a lot before I got there this morning because I was running a little late.
Sure.
And it's a manga adaptation.
It's a Shonen Jump book. Yeah.
Yeah, so the manga Doberman Deca, it's actually written by Yoshiyuki Okamura, who goes by the pen name Buronson, which some people might know went on afterwards, after this got popular in Shonen Jump, to make Fist of the North Star.
Wait, what?
This is the Fist of the North Star manga creator.
Huh. Okay.
And apparently, Doberman Cop, Doberman Deca, is mostly lost media. I can't find digital versions of this anywhere at all.
Yeah, you got to buy vintage 1970s, paperback manga from Japan and learn Japanese if you want to check out Doberman Cop.
And this is what started his career in manga, really. It's his third or fourth project, but this is the one that got popular.
Popular enough, because it didn't start out initially popular at all. You were saying that
no.
It was very, very low. It was rated 13th.
13th in their Shonen Jump, which is the bottom.
Right. And then the editor was like, you got to add an idol to it. You got to add a girl to it. Yeah. So he added a hot girl. And the criticism, too, was that he did not know how to draw girls at all. And he added a girl to it, and suddenly it became popular.
It was third most popular in Shonen Jump after that, apparently. And
well, at least they continued that tradition in this movie where it was just constant pandering to you.
This is basically a sexploitation film of the 70s.
Yeah.
It is.
It is, but it's also like they're trying to make it like an adult crime noir story.
Yes.
And I feel like that is a piece, like having sexuality within the world is a piece of that crime noir universe.
Yeah, I would say like there's tropes to how they treat the subjects of their sexploitation.
Sure.
And that they're sex workers. But the characterization of these characters is way better than I would expect for anything around this era.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially in film of this era.
Like,
I would
still
even after this era, like it doesn't that kind of thing didn't get better in the next 10 years.
No, or 20
or 20
honestly.
years. Yeah. Right.
I think that like, as I would still classify this as a sexploitation film, but at the same time I would very much say that despite the fact that it is shoehorning a lot of that in and trying to like make sure that it has, you know, lots of TNA, it does also at the same time at least do the job of, instead of just like putting it in there with no background and no reason, it's all story appropriate, as you're saying. Like, it all fits the world that they're doing. It all is story focused. It's all generally characterization for people. It
feels like almost a modern story, oddly. Like,
yes,
like if you were taking like a Yakuza game and a modern, deep-rooted gang, you know, this type of tale, it feels like it was written in maybe the last 10 years for most of it, because it just treats the subject so well, I think. But there's some things that I think are interesting in that aspect, for sure, especially as like a manga adaptation to live action. I don't know if comic movies were really super popular, especially in the 70s, let alone manga movies. Like, there's like some Batman, Wonder Woman, like some of the 66 stuff in the States, but
yeah, I don't think American comics really got their act together for a long time, but I think they were making this is the thing. American comics are popularized by superheroes, and trying to do that on screen is difficult and special effects heavy, and like, you know, Star Wars revolutionized everything in the 70s, and then they were like trying to get it together, and they didn't really get it together till the 80s. However, with manga, you have these small little cop stories, and it's like, oh well, we can shoot this. This is just, I mean, detective.
They could shoot Columbo. Like, you can shoot this, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And I mean, there were no like American comic book makers that were anything about like detective comics or anything.
Yeah, you know, with like a character called Bruce Wayne. Never heard of him.
Do you know that DC is actually stands for
that
Detective
is in fact,
Comics?
that is in fact the joke I was making. Yes,
that's
correct. Yeah, no, you weren't sure. I'm glad that I did that joke well enough that you had no idea if I was.
Look. In all fairness, Batman couldn't even turn his neck until like just recently in any of the costumes.
Yeah,
so.
I do want to point out, now we don't usually talk a lot about releases for films, because usually we just find trash online or a random VHS I dug out of the trash.
Sure, yeah.
Like a feral rabbit.
Yeah.
Move the Little Caesars pizza out of the way, and then here's this fucking...
Well, don't move it out of the way. You got to take that home to share it with us afterwards.
Yeah.
So this film was actually released... it had a digital transfer in 2018 by Arrow Video, which then released a Blu-ray version of it. And this was actually never released outside of Japan until that release. So this is actually unusual for us to be even seeing this film. And then it somehow found its way from that Arrow Video digital release to Amazon Prime, which is where we watched it. But the digital transfer is good. Like, from 70s
it looked
film
great.
reel. It looks good. That doesn't... I mean, that's not to say the camera work is good.
No.
Well,
the camera work isn't.
Some parts were good, and some parts were not good.
Like, I could tell some of it was definitely rushed in the production.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
So, like, we have a shot, whatever, move on. We're not going to do it again.
Yeah, one of the reviews on IMDb was saying that this movie was shot in about 2 weeks. So I don't know if there's merit to that, but it does feel like that. It feels like
rushed. Yeah,
we got one take to do this, and like when it's not Sonny Chiba like kicking everyone's ass in the room, they're like, well, we'll just shoot this other part and we'll get to that and we'll shoot that as well as we can. You know,
we'll have somebody hang out the window of their passenger seat car and just record somebody behind them. It'll be fine.
Right.
Well, okay, you're saying they hung out the back seat of a truck or whatever and recorded the people behind them, but you're making it sound like they actually managed to record the people behind them, which most of that scene they didn't. Most of it was just like pavement, sky, pavement, sky, pavement, sky.
So, okay. I haven't done one of these in a while. Should we talk about what happens in Doberman Cop? Like, we're just adrift here before we get into the specifics of the shots. I wanted to
talk about the film a bit, but Sonny Chiba is our main character. He's playing Detective Kano, I think, from Mortal Kombat.
Yep. Yeah. He's got a really cool eye.
Yeah, and he is a detective from Okinawa, which is a small island on the southern tip of Japan. And he has shown up in Tokyo, following a lead for a case that had happened there. And you can tell he is from a small island and a quote-unquote country bumpkin because he is wearing a straw hat, has wheat in his mouth, and is walking around with a pig.
Yep. The pig is important. The pig was, he said it was purchased by his mother to give to the other police station as a gift. Yeah.
Well, for lunch. Specifically. Yeah. Like not even just as, but he takes it out. So they have a murder at the beginning where this woman was like choked and then they burn down like the building to get rid of evidence kind of thing. And the cops are going over the crime scene where, of course, the lead detective, they yell, "Oh, look, this is soaked in urine." So he picks it up and licks it and sniffs it and rubs all over it just to make sure.
That's piss.
That's piss. I know it.
There's a lot of like real shoddy 70s police work in this movie. Of like
really good.
The best part is the cops are like, look, here's a photo of the victim. Here's a locket with her name. Here's like all this very obvious planted evidence. It's definitely this person.
Yeah, we don't even need to do any dental records or anything else. It's got to be her. Must be her. So as they're going over the evidence, he shows up because he was on a case like looking for her because she's from his island or whatever. So they talk to him. And that's when he's going over the evidence with them and they're talking about it and he's got like a different theory. And at the end of it, he goes, well, anyway, and he just reaches behind him and pulls out from this bag this fucking pig, this entire live goddamn pig that's squealing and screaming. And then he's like, my mom told me to pack lunch, so I mean, just snap its neck and you just barbecue it, right? And that's literally a line. He goes like, snap its neck, it's real easy, just cook it. And they're like, the fuck you do, get the pig out of here. And it's like kicking over all this evidence and squealing and screaming.
I also have to say, every single performance in this movie is like dialed up to 11. Everyone is yelling. Everyone is grabbing everyone else. They're all like mugging for the camera, and it's fantastic. Especially when you throw a live pig into that mix.
Well, and also like the melodrama is just amped to 11. I think that's one of the reasons you were talking about the timelessness in a way of the script here with this boy, and I think that part of that is no question that it's film noir trope 101. Like it's just it follows a lot of that kind of thing. Like it cranks up the melodrama.
It's by the book for sure. Like there's a lot of drama, there's a lot of noir, there's some action.
Like I'm not trying to insult it, but
I think what it's doing with it is interesting, and that's it could have been something that would be very like aged and crappy, but it isn't. So I agree.
But I think that like a lot of those tropes though of like again just the there's a lot of yakuza sitting in rooms smoking and dark rooms like showing each other films, blackmailing, and like there's lots of that stuff. So, sorry, Nick, you were saying.
So we end up with this body, this country bumpkin cop. No one's given him respect. It's a very Columbo situation, basically.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
he decides he's going to get to the bottom of this, and he knows more than the police around him. So he decides to kind of like check out where she hung out, and he talks to this guy who warns him about poisoned cokes, and then tells him where to go for the best strip clubs in the area.
It's like Doberman Cop would do. Yeah.
Like Doberman Cop would do. Yeah. And I never really, how did he make the jump? I guess they were saying that the person who was burned was a sex worker and like grouped in with other sex worker murders. Is that why he went to the strip club? I guess.
Yes. Because the cops were basically saying that this can't be a singer. Because Doberman Cop brought up the fact that
she was a singer.
The body
on Okinawa.
The woman who died was a singer, Yuna, who is the missing girl. And no, this is a sex worker. It's not a singer. What are you talking about? So then he took that lead to go look for sex workers.
None of the other police officers are investigating anything, by the way.
Well, they're too busy like shaking people down physically and yelling in their ears.
Right. The interrogations were so jarring to me because I'm so used to watching like NCIS or something like that, where you got like one guy in a room and it's like, don't touch him, and just like lay out the case and pin him down. And it's a very like orchestrated, calibrated thing. And then in this, it was like, okay, put the guy in the seat and then physically surround him with as many cops as possible.
And if he ever says anything, punch him and then grab him and shake him.
Yeah.
What this is for the interrogation is this is a lot less like the clean view that like an NCIS has, and much more like the like catching cheaters scene in Casino, where they like grab the guy and like lay him out on the table, and they like put a lamp over, and they're like, all right, so I got the hammer, or you can go out with the like, you know what I mean? You can take the money and the hammer, or you can go out with
the whole thing is extremely claustrophobic. The whole movie is extremely claustrophobic.
Yes, yeah. It's all smoky, dark rooms. And
yeah.
The other important detail, though, by the way, is the cops said that not only was this body burned, but there's a serial killer out there killing multiple sex workers. So that's important.
So he decides to investigate. He goes to the strip club. He brings the pig.
Of course.
Yeah.
The pig starts getting loose. And then one of the strippers.
This is not a double entendre. It's
until it is.
Well, he doesn't release his hog
until he does. So,
other people make him release his hog.
So, in like maybe the most buck wild scene of the movie, I think.
Definitely.
They're like, the announcer guy's like, get that pig out of here. This isn't a reputable establishment. And then one of the strippers is like, no, I like that pig. Bring him on stage. And then she's like, I like that pig man too. Bring him on stage. And then he's basically pushed on stage.
Yeah.
Like they start taking his clothes off. And then the stripper has sex with him on stage while they're having like a conversation in the back about like what to do with the pig.
Yeah.
And it's just absolutely wild. And I'm like, there's definitely no consent happening here. It was an absolutely really wild weird scene, and they just move on from it. And then Doberman Cop is like living at the strip club.
Oh, he lives there now. Yeah.
Like that's his base of operations. Is he hangs out with the stripper and the announcer guy who's like in a skeezy relationship with the stripper, but like is also kind of consensual, because she's like, she's like looking for crushes, but by the end you get the sense that like they're also kind of all right. Like they joke around, but like I don't, it's hard to like pin down where the line is with a lot of the relationships in this movie. And I don't know if that's the language barrier or what that is, but
all they want is the denizens of the strip club, the Soapland, whatever it is.
Yeah.
They just want Doberman Cop to join their polycule.
He,
and they're all
at
in
one
on it.
point later on, he's like, no, but you can't leave. You'll make her so sad. And I need her to be happy so she can be with me too. And it's like,
he says,
sure.
I'm happy to be second choice in our relationship. And
yes.
Like, oh,
so
I wanted to just 1 second. I needed to go through one important thing also, because Nick, you said a minute ago that Doberman Cop knows better, and so he's going out to investigate on his own. And I just want to highlight the reason that Doberman Cop knows better is because he talked to the mother of the woman that he thinks is missing, which is different than the woman that they have, he's saying. Because she's alive, and he knows she's alive because her mother is a priestess who communed with the spirit world and told him that she's alive. And he also did shell divination to show, and like he does it in front of them, and they're like, see, look at the shells. It's obvious.
The shell divination is a weird thing in this movie because everything else is very crime noir, and then this is very like supernatural, superstitious, like.
I think it leads into a larger like theme at the end.
Yes.
I think it makes sense story-wise, even if it doesn't make sense logical-wise.
Well, yes. I know it doesn't make logical sense, but I don't know. It just, for me, it felt kind of out of place. Like, I wanted out of Doberman Cop when we were starting this. Like, I did not think that he was going to be like, and here are my divination shells. Like, I thought he was going to be like, I'm a good detective that's presenting myself in a shoddy manner.
No.
But that did not happen.
Look, if Columbo walked out and just started throwing tarot cards out, you would be like, fuck yeah, Columbo. Let's go.
I would be like that.
But yeah, no, I think that the theme of that, honestly, and I think that it really nails on it, is because they talk about it a lot, that they're like, oh, you're out of place country bumpkin in Tokyo. And there's a big theme throughout the movie of the tension between modernity and like tradition. Where like, and especially when we get to the twist about the singer and everything too, that's a big part of that also, is there's a lot of like the ruralness of Japan and then like the modernity of, you know, Tokyo and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the cops in Tokyo are using like modern techniques though. Like that's why, like
you can do like superstition, but this seems like so far down the rabbit hole of superstition to me.
I think that's just because we're American. I'm gonna be honest. This is a culture thing, 100%. Because this is a very traditional thing, I think, in Japan for sure.
Okay,
so I would think so. Yeah, it's kind of played that way anyway. But yeah, no, it's interesting. It's so we get the strip club thing, and
we get the strip club thing.
After the strip club, so there was the burned body at the beginning, which we're told is Yuna, the missing girl. However, the boyfriend of another missing girl in the area, who's known as Hotshot, is doing his own investigation because he thinks that body was not Yuna and was in fact his girlfriend who was missing.
Yeah.
So he walks up to a singer called Miki. He goes to this Miki singer and he has a piece of paper that he's like, hey, could you sign this for me? And on the other side of it says, I know your secret. Meet me at 3 p.m. in this location.
It's a slick move for sure.
Yeah. Which nobody notices. And then he goes to the trash can in the alley or hallway, I think, like right behind.
Yeah.
Not yet. Because Hotshot goes to the trash can and rips up his note and throws it in the trash. And then Doberman Cop was just sitting above out on like a staircase watching him do it and drops down. He's like, whoa, someone just threw something in that trash. I better
Sonny Chiba just literally drops into the frame from out of frame, and you're like, wait, what?
And you know what? That is some crack detective work.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
You really got it done.
It's the dumbest thing. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm not sure where the Tarzan one happened, but
it's after for sure. It's later.
Okay.
Because what happens next is that because he was meeting Miki at that time, Doberman Cop follows him there.
Yes.
And Hotshot gets like, I guess he gets ganged up on by a bunch of folks. They're like, "What do you mean you know her secret?" Yada yada.
Yeah.
And then Doberman Cop comes in and just punches like 10 guys.
Yeah, Hotshot doesn't realize like the depths that he got into by leaving that note. I think that he's just like, I want to, I'm looking for my girlfriend, or I suspect she's dead. And I want to get to the bottom of it. He doesn't realize he's stumbled into this like Yakuza style, like
not even style. It's just straight up
Yakuza stuff, like trying to promote this singer and make money.
Yeah, they own the idol agency kind of thing.
Yeah. So he's going to get roughed up. He's going to get killed. They say they're going to kill him. And then Sonny Chiba just kicks the door in and just starts beating everyone down. He punched through like a guy picked up a table to throw at him, and he struck through the table and hit the guy.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect.
And the table goes in half, like, I mean, it was obviously sawed kind of thing, like beforehand, styrofoam kind of thing, but it's like a clean sideways cut, so it's just like cracks directly in half cleanly.
It's so
he just punches right through it and hits the guy. That's great. There's a lot of real good Sonny.
You know what?
Moments.
I think the Tarzan scene was before the strip club.
I'm thinking about
it. I think it was before the strip club scene, because Miki was held hostage.
Yes, at one point. In any case,
that's where I have it in my notes.
The order of this doesn't necessarily matter.
Yeah.
Honestly, for this.
But Sonny Chiba rappelled down like a 40-story tall building and then kicked through a window in a very good editing shot.
And I will say that scene kind of doesn't fit the rest of the movie.
No.
Like, it can kind of go anywhere because it's like this single crime thing. It like ties in kind of later. Because
a little bit. I think they just like throw it in. It doesn't really make sense why he did it or why it happened.
But they had him legitimately harnessed up and going down this building.
It looked cool.
It looked fantastic.
It looked dangerous as fuck.
It looked dangerous.
I said that. I was like, oh man, I'm out of this movie. See you later.
It's a lot of like close shots. Like you can tell that is Sonny going down the side of that building. Like, it's pretty intense. They don't do that kind of stuff in movies nowadays at all.
I would say that the two things about the Tarzan scene that are tied in later that are important to remember is it does set up some characterization and it does tie into the Yakuza plotline later. And what that is that so she's being held at knife point by a guy who's like, I want to marry her, I'm her biggest fan kind of thing. And
they're locked in a hotel room.
And one cop is almost shown as a comedy thing over and over where he's like, I'm gonna go in blasting, and all the other cops are like, what the fuck, dude, no. Like, put that goddamn
physically
gun
restraining
away.
that cop out of there. Like, he just wants to shoot everything.
He's the American.
We're not Americans. Put your goddamn gun down. You're gonna get like he's like, there's a hostage in there. He's like, I'm a good shot. And he's like, no, you can't just go in there and just start blasting. He's like, no, I'm going in and I'm blasting. They're like, no, put it away. So they have to restrain him, and then Sonny Chiba's like, well, I'll just rappel down the building and kick the window in, and they're like,
and they're like, that sounds like a way better plan.
Much better. Way safer, way better idea.
We're gonna do tear gas, and then he's like, no, I'll just rappel down the building, kick in the window, and then beat up the guy.
That's far better than tear gas.
Way better. Tear gas is super dangerous.
Let him have at it.
But the point is that there's this cop
point was really important. Because that cop is just like, it's played up a bit almost as a joke for a while, but then it becomes important.
And he shows up a few other times in not really notable ways, just kind of in the background about wanting to shoot things.
He's
always just kill criminals
he pops up like at least 3 or 4 times in the movie going towards the end.
After Doberman Cop saves Hotshot, though, they go back to Hotshot's hippie biker den.
Oh my god, this really confused me because like Hotshot was also like part of this biker gang that was like driving around the police station in the very beginning of the movie. I think because Hotshot like thought that his girlfriend had been killed or whatever. He somehow got wind of like this involves him. And so they're bikers driving around, but they never really like tie all that together in the beginning of the movie.
No,
they never
not
really explain it. And then so like you just have this character like kind of come in middle of the story and you piece it together as it goes. But yeah, this part where they show Hotshot hanging out with all his hippie friends, I'm like, who are these people? Like, where are they? And why are they involved?
There's just a hippie playing like Wonderwall as they're plot dumping, and you're like, who the fuck are these people?
Yeah, and there's
what
just
happened?
Like they're in some like weird enclosed den where they're just smoking weed, and like Hotshot's like, check it out, I got a gun and a talisman. And you're just like, what is this movie?
So we thought Hotshot was a cop because he had a badge on him, but the badge was actually just a talisman with a skull. And inside was a 44 Magnum bullet that he got from an American, where the moment the American gave away his talisman of luck, he fucking died by getting run over by a car.
Run over by a car.
And before he died, he also gave me this giant fucking Magnum from Dirty Harry.
Yeah.
I bought it for 50,000 yen. Yeah. Got it for $500 off of him. It's super fucking illegal because it's Japan.
It's like, so anyway, if anybody ever loses this talisman, they'll die. Hey, do you want this Doberman Cop? I don't need it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. And at this point, not only am I like, this scene's insane, but like also who are these people? And you later kind of like piece that all together, but it's just wild the way it's presented to the viewer. It really engages you.
It's got quite a cast of characters. Like you've got the strip club people or like Soapland kind of people with the owner who's content to be second, and he's just he's like a carnival barker all the time. Like he's always yelling, and he's just kind of this big larger than life character, and all the girls that are with him. And then you've got like all the cops that like the one that's just full aggro mode all the time. You've got like a police chief lieutenant kind of guy who's your traditional like yo loose cannons kind of thing, and that guy, and then you have the biker hippies, and so everybody is just a huge character.
Do we at this point start to see the masked man show up?
Yes.
Yeah, around here.
Doberman Cop got caught by the gang at some point here, and he gets tied up.
Yeah, he gets because he chases down.
He's talking to Miki.
Yeah, he's chasing down Miki Haruna, and she's being looked after by her Yakuza handlers. She's constantly. We also were introduced to the fact that she has a big drug problem.
Oh
she
yeah,
tries to go and do a recording, and she starts coughing and choking throughout the scene, and then she goes out and he's like, oh, she just needs a moment. And he goes and sees her in her room, and she's like, come on, I need drugs. And she's just, again, another character. Boy, she goes hard with that.
And the Yakuza handler is like, I'm not going to give you the drugs. You know? Like he's holding them back from her, which seemed like out of place at the time, but leads into like,
because he seems like kind of a dickhead, and he's supposed to be evil and a bad guy, but they don't really like treat him that way in the story. It's interesting. He is eventually.
He is evil.
Eventually, but like he's not.
He has
like
layers to him.
Yeah, he's not like like an American villain where he's like.
Sure. No. He's not twirling his mustache. He brutalizes her. Like he's awful to her, and he does some horrible things to her. He's not
the cartoonish villain that you're used to on Rough Cuts.
No.
Sure.
Yeah. He is trying in his way. He's like, well, even at the end, he has a little speech of like, well, I wanted to help for the first time in my life, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So there's
like change things around. And
I wouldn't say that he is being super helpful in most ways, but also
no.
you can see where he's trying to be better in a way, even though he is still an awful, evil person. Like there's parts of him where he's got a line and he's trying to do something for her.
Yeah, the point I was getting to, though. So Doberman Cop gets caught, and then Hotshot is dating another sex worker called Mayumi. That's what it was. Mayumi.
Yeah.
And she apparently had talked to Miki and was asking her something to meet up. So then she answers the door, who she thinks is Miki, and that's the masked killer, who then kills her.
Yeah.
And as he's running down the stairs, leaving the scene of the crime that he's burned, that is when Hotshot shows up and runs past the killer, and he's like, "Oh fuck, that killer has to be the Yakuza guy who's Miki's manager."
Yeah,
because she was supposed to meet with Miki.
Yeah.
And the manager didn't want that to happen. Didn't want anything out because she was going to get hush money, is what it was, about Miki's secret, which we still
because Miki has a secret. Yeah.
Yep. So then he goes to confront the Yakuza guy with his giant fucking American gun.
Yep. Oh, this scene is so good, by the way.
And he's like, "All right, fuckers, give me $10 million. I know you killed her, and then I'll leave." Is 10 million enough? Do you want more? Like, do you really need just 10 million? 50 million then.
They're like, yeah, sure. And he goes and opens the safe, and he's like holding them all at gunpoint. It's a small room, So he's got the gun in one hand, and they start putting the money on the table, and it is like bricks of money.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money because 50 million yen is a lot of money.
It's 2 hands worth of money minimum.
Yes.
And he's watching it pile up, and it's such a good shot of like the money piling up in the foreground and him being like, this is
a bit too much money. How am I gonna do this? I'm holding this giant fucking gun.
But he's also like really greedy. Like you can kind of see the two sides. Like inside of Hotshot, there are 2 wolves, and one wants a lot of money, and one just does not have hands because it's got paws. And he's like, "Fuck, I don't know what to do here. I want all this money, but I can't hold all this money."
For a second, you're like, he's gonna realize and just get out of there.
Yeah,
but no.
The greed wins.
He tries to pick up the money, and then he gets taken down.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then tied up in the basement.
Tied up on a pipe right next to Doberman Cop. And then the Yakuza show up and they're like, "All right, we're going to kill both of you." After Doberman Cop has like weakened the pipe a bit. And we're going to kill you with this giant fuck-ass American gun you were carrying around. All right, 3, 2, 1. And he shoots and hits the pipe because it was weakened. And moved Doberman Cop. And this like
steam everywhere.
And Doberman Cop picks up the giant fuck all gun and starts shooting. He decapitates a guy.
Oh yeah,
with the fucking magnum.
Extremely quick shot, but it was just like, wait, that guy don't have a head anymore. Wait a minute.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I like the scene too for Doberman Cop is like, "That's too much gun for you, dude." And the guy's like, "Oh yeah? Well, watch this." And he points it out with one hand. And I'm like, okay, he's holding that thing with one hand. That is too much gun for him because he doesn't realize that's a hand cannon.
They're also like only like 2 feet away from each other. Like they're very, very close. And
it's really funny. Yeah. Well, it's really funny for him to point the gun and all of the Yakuza guys that are with him immediately have this look of, "Oh shit, he's really going to fire that fucking thing in this enclosed space." Yeah. And they all like race backwards and like put their hands over the ears. They're like, "Oh fuck, we're all gonna go fucking like we're immediately gonna go deaf." Holy shit, what is he doing?
Yeah, it's so good. You don't see guns used that way in American movies at all. Like you never see like the rest of the bad guys like backing up a little before a gun is fired.
Guns are scary, and they make like this gun's fucking terrifying. This thing's huge. Yeah,
man.
Oh god.
But Hotshot and Doberman Cop
fight their way out.
Their way out. Doberman Cop gets arrested by the cops.
Right.
If I remember right. He gets pulled in, but Hotshot gets away with his biker gang. And the biker gang are driving through a tunnel. and the real killer is stalking Hotshot in his car behind.
Right.
And he speeds up and slams into him, which you would think would kill Hotshot, but Hotshot just grabs onto the fucking door and puts his head in the window and starts like grabbing at the wheel and punching him. And
yeah, Hotshot manages to hold on the car.
Yeah, but the killer just shoots him twice and then drives off. So Hotshot's definitely actually really dead.
I think that they showed a shot of like him laying in the road, and I can't tell if it was like a thing on his helmet or if they were trying to be like he was shot but his helmet saved him kind of thing, because Hotshot comes back later
because he got shot in the gut.
They show a wrapping around his gut later on.
Yeah. Oh, did they? I missed that.
Yeah, when he is actually dead, spoiler alert. Yeah, they actually do show him with like a big wrapping around. So I think that they show that he's like he got injured real bad, but he's still alive at that point.
It's just moving so fast.
It goes.
It's a mile a minute. Mm-hmm. But so Doberman Cop is getting harassed by the cops in Tokyo because they think he's the killer because he killed all these people.
He was there. Yeah. He was there at the crime scene. So at the crime scene. He's the guy.
He's the guy. And he's like, look at all this evidence you found, you fucking idiots. It's all obviously fake. Did you even look at it? You absolute moron.
He was like
driving
the locket was engraved with Yumi, and he was like, this was recently engraved and planted
like 3 days ago, you idiot.
Did you talk to the jewelry stores? And they were like, which ones? And he was like, investigate, for God's sake.
It's your fucking job.
And he pulls out like, okay, so Yumi has like these kinds of dimension, like she's like this lady who's fairly skinny and stuff. He's like, here's one of the belts she has. It's about 60 centimeters long. Look at the belt that you have where it's twice as long. Did you maybe think that wasn't her fucking belt for one goddamn second, you morons?
Yep.
And they're like,
oh.
And then they're like, and then they're like, so did you crack it? Could you
solve the
us
crime
if
or
you figured it out? Yeah.
God.
He's like,
it.
Well, and give me my pig back and I'll figure it out.
While this is happening, another cop goes upstairs and tunes in on a little CRT to the interrogation.
Yes.
And that's when we get the first seed of like, oh, there's something else going on, especially, and I think that cop, I think they show him as the guy who's like trigger happy.
It's the same guy who's been trigger happy,
And he runs out the minute they say that they're going to let him go, kind of thing.
I think he was talking about like Hotshot or something, because the killer
Yes.
shows up next at Hotshot's recovery room and kills
he's
him.
Like, he's like, oh, Hotshot is still alive. I got to knock this guy out because he saw me commit that crime. Like, I gotta tie up my loose ends.
Yeah, and the biker gang shows up raising hell at the police station to go tell him, Doberman Cop, that he's got to go talk to Hotshot. Hotshot saw his face.
Still alive. Yeah. You got to talk to Hotshot. Yeah. So
he was in the car.
A race. Yep. It's a race to get to Hotshot.
Yep.
And by the way, for the biker gang decides the best way to do this is to ride their motorcycles into the police building and then fight their way to Doberman Cop. And then Doberman Cop and the biker fight their way out of the police station. Absolutely. So like, at some point, Doberman Cop should have been like, I know where I'm going. Let me solve this. Please let us go. But instead, it's like, oh, that's going to take too long. We're just going to fight our way out.
Well, they actually talk at one point where Hotshot and him have this conversation where, because Hotshot was assumed to be the killer too, because he was running away from the crime scene, but he was chasing down the real killer. And they're and he's like, well, they'll never believe a guy like me because I'm just a punk. And he's like, all these cops are morons. They only see what they want to see. They look at criminals and sex workers and stuff, and they immediately see that we're going to be the ones. They don't look at anything past what's in front of their noses. And so there's a little bit of that too, of like, oh, well, all the cops just assume that if you're a poor person or whatever, you're some kind of punk, obviously you must be a killer, and they don't actually investigate. So there's that kind of thing, and that's why he's just like, fuck it, I just don't need to deal with these other cops. I'm just going to bust my way out. So he just busts out with I want to point out too, just a real quick aside, that during all of these action scenes and stuff that we're talking about of Doberman Cop going around and doing all this investigating, he has the pig with him in a bag.
Oh yeah, he's carrying it with
most
him.
of it. He
The
just
pig,
has it
the
with
pig
him.
is hanging out. Yeah.
The pig's it's just there. That's just his sidekick, just in his little knapsack. It's really good. So yeah, they have a race to Hotshot's place, and he gets there as the killer, wearing a mask and shades and stuff and a trench coat, like jumps out and runs down the staircase kind of thing. He runs in and he's like, "Oh, the body's still warm," and they look out the window and the guy's like racing across the parking lot.
Booking
So.
it, yeah.
He is full on booking. That actor is like going for it.
Oh,
I love that run because it's very much like not a Hollywood run. It is like he is stumbling over his feet, like trying to. And it's like this actor's never run before.
Shot very like frankly, and as a matter of fact, they didn't try to make it look cool. Like it was a desperate run to the car.
So Doberman Cop jumps out the window 2 stories onto a motorcycle.
Basically
drives off after him. And he shoots his magnum at the... Well, no, he shows up at this like abandoned place first.
Right.
Yeah. And the killer
corners him,
holds
in
him
this
at gunpoint.
Area.
Yeah.
The killer gets the drop on him.
Yeah, and then the killer like knocks him out by hitting him in the back of the head, or at least tries to. And
but he also basically confesses to Doberman Cop that like, oh, I've been doing these murders, but I didn't do that murder.
I didn't do that one. Yeah, come on.
That's very
like, I have been doing the sex worker murders, but not specifically the one you're here for.
Yeah, the inciting incident, the first murder that we saw, he's like, I didn't have shit to do with that. That's something.
So that means
weird.
there's 2 killers.
Right.
It's not as simple as it seems. So then, as he's driving off, Doberman Cop takes his giant fuck-ass gun and shoots out his tire, which we get a really cool car stunt of a flip. And then Doberman Cop runs up to the car. The really shitty cop that's been killing all these people, like thugs, anything he feels like is deserved, quote unquote, to die.
He says he's trying to make Tokyo clean, which is like
cleaning up the streets.
Just the way they phrase it is like so disgusting.
It's so gross. So then he's like, "Hey, don't kill me, Doberman Cop. We're both cops, aren't we?" And Doberman Cop just like takes his fucking 45, pulls the hammer back, and goes, "Ah!"
Yeah, they're both yelling. It's the Point Break of the movie.
Yes. Yeah, I was just gonna say it's the Point Break moment, except instead of firing in the air, he just blasts him.
Is like, no, I'm gonna take care of it.
Yeah. Which does make Doberman Cop a lot better than most cops, in that he's like, no, fuck, man, being a cop doesn't mean shit if you're still a shitty murderer.
Exactly.
Blows him away.
So you're coming around on Doberman Cop, maybe not a cab or Doberman Cop.
No.
Okay.
But after he kills the killer cop,
a good man cannot serve a great evil.
he goes back to the Soap Lane strip club, and everybody at the strip club's like, "Doberman Cop, we're gonna leave town. You should come live with us. Join us in our polycule of traveling minstrels or whatever."
and he's like, oh, I got these things I got to wrap up. Like I can't.
And I'm taking my pig, and I'm leaving.
Taking my pig. Yeah. So he takes the pig and he takes the ashes of the woman who was found burned in the beginning of the movie.
So Doberman Cop takes puts his hog away and leaves the polycule. And
he is at this point he's figured out that the singer is actually the girl that he's looking for.
Mickey's Yuna.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mickey is Yuna. Yeah. So he like goes to confront her. Does he go to confront her, or does the manager intercept him?
He goes to the manager to confront him.
Okay. Yeah.
And he tells Doberman Cop that Mickey faked her own death by killing this other girl.
Yeah.
And they burned the body and then sprinkled the evidence to make it look like Yuna died.
And and the bad guy, the Yakuza guy, like paints this picture of like, I met her in America and like she was a ghost of herself. She was addicted to drugs. I fell in love with her. I took her off the drugs. You know, we had a time in America where like we were happy, and she became alive again, and he's like, I wanted to do something good for her, and that's the only thing in my life that like I did like a good deed. And he's like, everything I've been doing to kind of like push her into the limelight. And he's also been like behind the scenes, he's been bullying the judges for the singing competitions so that she can get in there.
He sure has.
And so he's been doing all this other stuff behind the scenes to like get her into the spotlight. And one of those things was the initial murder, because he was like, she wants to leave her past behind. And so like we did that for her, basically. We being the two of them, not like
I was gonna say she was definitely, she did the murder, like she
did the murder. She did the murder.
Then he helped cover it up.
He helped cover it up. So he's like implicates her, but also is like, maybe I'm not such a bad guy. And Doberman Cop's like, I'm not really buying it.
Oh, and by the way, the guy that held her hostage in the hotel, I paid him to do that for publicity. And your dumbass Tarzan bullshit could not have been better publicity.
Yes,
so that's the other tying back in of that Tarzan scene.
He's got a real like, I've been pulling the strings all along kind of thing going on.
And he's like, and I'm really a good guy. Meanwhile, all of his thugs are lining up behind Doberman Cop stealthily, pointing guns at his back. And he's like, I'm just such a good guy. I'd never do things like kill a cop in front of me. Anyway, so like, you guys can just kill this cop now, right?
I thought what was going to happen was Doberman Cop was going to see them in the reflection of the book that he was looking at, of like all the photographs. Because it's all those glossy photographs.
With the glossy plastic and stuff,
Well, instead, it was like the guys come into the room and announce themselves, and they're like, "Kill him now, boss!"
Should we do a murder or not?
Yeah.
You should do a murder.
Cop, like a full heads up, like just letting go of all the surprise that they have as an advantage.
Man, this shot, it's so cool.
I take this for a minute? Because earlier they have set up for this where Doberman Cop is playing with the gun as he's getting ready to go, and he's spinning the barrel. Like he flips the barrel out and he spins it because he's got one bullet left.
Yeah.
And he like spins the barrel around and then he clicks it back in, and then he goes to confront them. And so then when he hears them behind him, he jumps in the air, turns 180 degrees, fires a single bullet, and blows up 3 dudes' heads.
He triple one shots.
Dead
absolutely
awesome. Fucking A. It's so cool.
And then he scrambles away from the Yakuza boss, who pulls a gun out of the safe, and he thinks about grabbing one of the Yakuza guns, but it gets shot away, and he feels pinned in, and he's like, oh no, he's like, looks at his chambers, got no bullets. And then he remembers the one bullet in the Lucky Talisman from Hot Shot.
The American bullet.
He loads that up and shoots the Yakuza leader through the door.
Yeah, my favorite part is he didn't confirm the location through the door. He just shot at the door.
He took his one bullet and just shot the door. Yeah.
And it happened to hit the guy.
Right, yeah.
This is one of those moments though, like where I was talking about the theme of kind of like modernity and like, or like rural and urban kind of stuff collides a bit again, where it's like all the talisman and shell divination and stuff, like all the cops and everything, they look at that as being stupid, and it's what saves him. Again, like it's one of those things where it's like that's his advantage, right? His advantage is always that kind of thing. So I think that's actually a really consistent theme of what his advantage is being the country bumpkin who doesn't buy into Tokyo.
To tie that all together, at the end, he confronts Yuna, who's now going by Miki, and he's like, the game is over. Your manager's dead. We know, I know who you are and what you did. You should give up the game, stop going for this fame thing, and I'll take you back, and we'll deal with all this.
Yeah,
And
meanwhile, she's won the singing competition. Yeah, like she's primed to be a star.
Because this is in the middle of the competition,
Yeah.
This shootout happens while she's on TV singing.
And she has a moment where she's thinking about it, and she's like,
he
"No."
He gives her the ashes of the girl that
to show her.
She killed.
Yeah. Of the girl that she killed. Be
did.
like, this is that girl. Like, these are your real repercussions of like what you did. And she's been a mess through this whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
And you never really know as the viewer, like, she's like really, really playing it up. And you're like, is this just like, she just like hysterical for some reason? Is this actress just overplaying it? Like, I didn't really know what was going on. And then you get to the end, you're like, oh, she murdered a person to assume this identity, and she has been racked with guilt this entire time.
And at this point in the film, she decides that she is no longer feeling that guilt, and she wants her new life more than dealing with anything. She's not even Yuna anymore. She's Miki.
No.
And
she
that
kills her past.
She kills her past literally. And they do the shell divination again, which is alive, dead, alive, dead. And Yuna, as a persona, is dead. That's the tale. So they tie that back.
She was alive every other time that he did the shell divination.
Yep. So Yuna is not a character anymore. She is now Miki. She has taken on that entire persona. So Doberman Cop.
Yeah, because she goes up for an encore and he does the divination as she's doing it. And during her big song is when he's like, wait, she's dead.
Yeah, she's transformed.
So if she's dead, then no crimes. All right. Solved.
That's the wild.
Okay, we're gonna talk about that. I want to dig into this. But
so that's where it ends. Like, she's dead. How could she have done a crime?
Just she's singing. He's like, oh, that persona's dead and gone. Like, he's confronted her, and he's like, he does want to turn her into the cops, and then he kind of like picks up his pig, and they walk into the sunset or the rain set, and into the distance, and that's where the movie ends. And like, basically everybody's got their comeuppance except for Yuna.
Yeah, everything worked out great for her. Yeah.
She's the only one who like has committed a crime and has not found justice, basically, or justice hasn't found her. Why do you think they did that?
I kind of just feel that it just ties in with, again, a lot of the themes. Like, she's just in a different world than he is. Like, there's like, it feels like a lot of tension between being in Tokyo and like, I think too with the time that this is set in. Like, it's 1977. I mean, not just the time that it's set in, because it's set in what was modern time for that time, but like the idea of Japan becoming a more modern society of that time, right? Like, that there's like kind of the big economic boom of the 80s on the horizon for Japan. So like you kind of have that starting of that ramping up of like Tokyo is a big light crime city and all this kind of stuff, and he's just like not a part of that world anymore. And so it's just because I was kind of like also this break of the world, because he also talks about early on that her mother said that he prophesied that he was destined to marry her.
Yeah.
And so I think that he's kind of heartbroken because, and he talks about growing up with her.
Sure.
And that he liked her. And so there's this whole, I think that it kind of breaks him that he comes to terms with her being dead and that this modern society is going forward. I think that there's a bit of that in there. So I think that's why they went with it.
In less thematic too, I was trying to think of like how he would ever even prove that she was that person, because everyone is dead. There are documents that have been forged, and everyone who has made those documents is long gone. So he really has to like rely on her doing the right thing in order to even make any traction with this murder at all, you know?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
So it's like, because of that, and because she's kind of like selected this new urban life instead of being Yumi anymore, it's like she's given herself over to this, Tokyo machine, and she's left that part of her life back, and it comes at this price of murder.
Like, I guess one other way to think about it is like her repercussion is that Yuna is dead. Her past is dead. Everything that tied her to her past life is dead. Everybody she knew is dead.
Right. Well, and I think
in this current situation, so like it's a rebirth, I guess. But
yes, I also think that that's almost in some ways, I mean, not necessarily her punishment, but there's like this idea of everybody looks at Doberman Cop as this country bumpkin, this idiot, this moron, like, and that he's a simpleton because he believes in all of kind of the rural myths, and like they make fun of him for believing the priestess, they make fun of him for doing the divination, they make fun of him for just being like wearing a straw hat and not knowing how to go around the city, like the Coke bottle thing where he goes to grab an open Coke bottle and they're like, hey man, didn't you hear about like people were poisoning Coke bottles, like the city's dangerous, like he's out of his element there. And it's portraying the city as dangerous and scary and full of death and crime and murder and like kind of dehumanizing in a way, and that it's like, no, go back to the simple island life. Like if you go back to your roots, like come back home, we'll accept you, we'll deal with this, like things will happen, but we'll have that. And she can't go back to that, like she's no longer that person. And also again, like, and that's almost her punishment because like, well, you're stuck in Tokyo then, like
she also, previous to this, she was going to get up and sing and perform in this award show, and she couldn't do it, and they needed to give her, like, her Yakuza boss who got her off drugs had to drug her up in order to calm her down in order to go out there and perform. And I think that like the Tokyo stuff is very much like her life that she's crafted is very much a prison.
That's kind of what I was thinking with that, is that it is also almost like she's free, but also she's free in a life where she's addicted to drugs and stuck with this fame that she actually kind of hates, and all of this stuff that like she's getting kidnapped by people, like her managers are Yakuza. She's like, it's just a mess.
There was a point in the movie where she's having a conversation with the Yakuza agent, and she's like, you got to stay with me. You got to stay with me. I'm like, I'm a mess. And she's been around like, 3 or 4 like attempted murders and fights and stuff. And the Yakuza leader's like, grow up, man. Like, this is business as usual. Like, this is it. This is your life. Yeah. And at first in that scene, I felt like there was a, like, because of course us as the viewer would be like, yeah, that's nuts. But to him, it's normal. And I think that we're supposed to kind of like come around to the realization that's like, no, this is daily Tokyo. This is the new normal.
Yeah, like I said, I think that this movie, I think, really doesn't like the modern Tokyo. It doesn't like cities. It likes a lot
of noir and a lot of Japanese movies around this time were about these kinds of conflicts too.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is one other takeaway though. All you have to do to get away with murder is win American Idol.
That's true.
That is true. Which puts all the past winners into a new light.
Yeah. Take that, Clay Aiken. I know what you did. Allegedly.
Okay, so Boyks, you have that photo that you wanted signed, right? You've got the message on the back, right? So flip it over and
I know what you
show
did.
Clay Aiken. I know what you did.
If I show up with Clay Aiken with a photo that says "I know what you did," meet me in the room with me. No, that would not end the way you would hope.
Well, anyway, I think that it might end the way that this movie ends. Maybe you'll be walking off into the sunset with a pig.
Let's rate the dogs. Okay.
Right.
Doberman Cop is a dog.
He is the Doberman. They never explain the name Doberman.
They explain
Cop.
Doberman lore.
Confused.
They do.
Yeah. Okay.
They do.
They literally do. It's at the end when the Yakuza manager is talking to Doberman Cop. He's like, "Hey, they called you Doberman Cop in Okinawa because Doberman is a fierce, battle dog."
They said, I don't remember this at all.
There was Doberman lore.
There's Doberman lore. Doberman Cop is a dog.
Yeah,
I guess.
And that's also when he said something about like, "I'm not a clown." Or whatever.
Oh yeah,
I'm just like wild.
I'm just crazy. Yeah.
This was all the Doberman lore.
This was the Doberman lore.
So it's because he's a tough as nails, attack dog cop.
Willing to do anything.
Willing to do anything and shoot. That's why he's Doberman Cop.
Okay.
He's a good boy. He solves a murder.
He lets the murders slide.
He lets the murderer go because he's like
solves some murders,
it, I guess.
Solves some murders with murder, and then solves other murders by just not doing anything.
Can you solve a murder with murder?
He kind of just like
allowed.
He goes to a strip club and then just moves in.
He solves a murder with like 4 murders, considering the Yakuza.
Doberman Cop did kill a lot of people.
He's killed a lot of people.
I would give Doberman Cop a 9 out of 10.
Yeah,
it's not a good dog, but it's like it's pretty close to a good dog.
Pretty close to a good dog.
Say. Yeah.
Now, are we going to rate the pig?
We have to rate the pig. That is a good pig.
That is a good pig. Excellent, top notch. That is a pig that got him into housing.
Yes.
Yes.
Like
other things.
I've had some dogs in the past, and not one of them have produced housing for me.
Housing, a polycule.
Right. Yeah.
Like he was almost lunch at one point. Like this thing will give you food and shelter at the same time.
Exactly.
Food, shelter, piggy. Companionship, it's all in one. This pig is the complete package, baby. And I mean, hey, he's going back to his quiet life to be with the pig.
There you
go.
Yeah.
That's a 13 out of 10 dog right there.
Yeah. That's excellent dog.
Yeah.
That's a life partner.
That's it for Doberman Cop, the manga live action adaptation from the Fist of the North Star creator.
Yep.
What's weird is talking about themes.
Yeah. How often do you get this deep into cinema when you do rough cuts?
Sorry, what's that word you said? Cinema?
Themes. We talk about themes, but normally in the way that the movie doesn't have any, or that they're very fucking stupid.
Sure.
Whereas this one was like, modernity versus like urbanism, and like where is crime in that? And also the idea of like one of the things that we didn't say too explicitly is you did mention that it does a good job of characterization for a lot of people. And one of the things that it does is like, for example, all the Soapland characters, like the strip club women and the boss there and everything.
Yeah.
They're kind of treated at first as a little bit of a joke, kind of, but also it very much humanizes them, and they're shown as like kind and understanding and helpful. And like same with the biker punks and the cops, they're awful.
Explicitly says like, you were the nicest people that I met in Tokyo.
Yes.
You are the kindest people that I met. And he met the entire police force. Like,
yes. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Like it very much plays up to not just the modernity versus like cities and stuff like that, but it portrays the rich people and the flashiness, like the cops and the Yakuza and like all the rich people as corrupt and awful and just portrayed like exacerbating all this crime. And the people that are the victims of that crime and maybe engage in some crime on their own, but they're engaging in crime because they're stuck there. They're the poor people. They're the ones on the street. And it's shown that way. And it's nice to see that. Especially
it's nice to see some humanization of what would normally just be this is the victim and you're done.
Yes, right.
This is the victim or this is the criminals, like the biker gang and stuff are portrayed as like a really good group.
As a quick aside, the director didn't read a lot of the manga, and apparently this movie takes a lot of steps away from the manga, and no one can even get the manga in English. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what to tell you. I enjoyed the movie, but I don't know how it stacks to the manga or anything.
Thanks for bringing this here. Thanks for stopping by, Nick. Is there anything you want to plug before we head out here?
Most of my information is at nickfilardi.com. You can buy prints of the Frogman or the Mothman up on there if you're into cryptids. My Twitter links, my Instagram, everything's up there. I'm doing a new book called Blink, which is a horror VHS themed found footage comic book, and I'm doing my best to make it look like it's been like dragged through a VHS copy, like you're reading a VHS. I actually scanned you sent me a Rough Cuts VHS tape, and I scanned it to add it to the gutters of
man,
the third issue. And in the beginning, in the first issue, there's a shot where our main character is on like a Discord of people who explore abandoned places, and I put all 3 of our Discord icons in there.
Oh, that rules. Okay, I'll have to look out for that. That's awesome.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, Nick Filardi is in fact famous comic book like inker, colorist.
Well, Nick Filardi's the famous one. Nick Filardi.
Wow. No, let's not get into that. I was once a comic book reviewer said that mistyped my name as Nick Filardi, and I'm like, that young upstart. I hate that guy.
Man, he's just stealing all my thunder.
Stealing all
my thunder. Yeah.
But yeah, no. Like, honestly, like your work has been pretty incredible. I've seen a lot of stuff that you put up, and it's real good. Like, and again, for a lot of major comics that you might notice. So, I know there was Heartthrob and stuff.
Oh yeah, good stuff.
Pretty big one.
Yeah. I've been doing a lot of I've just started doing more creator-owned stuff, but the past like 6 months to a year, I've been doing a lot of like Batman, and I did the Tim Drake DC Pride issue. I have work in there. I did a small guest spot in a Lobo and Crush book that won a GLAAD award. So
nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty really cool. A lot of like LGBTQ focused stuff, and I don't know, it's fun to do that stuff.
Make sure to check out Nick's stuff, buy some comics. That's the important thing here.
Yeah, buy some comics, get those numbers up.
Yeah.
All right. And for our own stuff, you can send us an email if you want to about any like movies that you might want to see or insights that you have, any requests. You can send it to roughcutscast@gmail.com, and our Twitter is the same. It's @roughcutscast, so you can check it out there. And yeah, it was an absolute blast to have you on, Nick. It was
thank you very much.
Really fun to have Doberman Cop, which you mentioned Doberman Cop, and I had no idea what it was. I didn't know that it was Sonny Chiba and like this old Japanese movie and everything from Toei. Like,
I hadn't seen it either, and it has been I have a few Rough Cuts movies banked that I want to do.
I'm excited. Yeah, because this one was a lot of fun. It's a really good movie. Like, it's actually definitely worth watching. A lot of violence, a lot of TNA warnings, but it's interesting.
Look, I'm gonna go rent a pig right after this, and I'm gonna go to my local strip club, and it's gonna be great.
Well, see what happens. I'm definitely pulling my hog out at some point. So.
I'd say good luck, but we all know where it's gonna lead to.
I hate that dog.